come on. We could have done that. Like it was just not meant to be a great workout. Are you kidding me? Destined to be a bad one, I suppose. Ugh. Camera 2 is not doing anything good today. Good morning. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Got a cold but fairly warm day outside. It's not crazy warm, but it's not like terribly cold either. About 45 degrees outside. So in the gym, heater's already got this place up to like 65, 68 degrees in here. Pretty darn nice. Cannot be complaining about that. We've got a push day ahead of us today. A good old push day, and we're gonna be pushing some heavy weight, not gonna lie. We are going to be doing a lot of the exact same movements that we did last week. We're actually not changing out any of the exercises, at least that's not the plan at least. Maybe we'll make some audibles while we're moving through this here. But as you can see from today's workout, we are going to be changing slightly the rep ranges and some of the weights that we're going to be using. So you're going to notice that a lot of the rep ranges are exactly the same as they were last week. A few of them are a little bit different here. But overall, we're going to be trying to increase the weight on a lot of these exercises this week. Trying to add 5, maybe 10, sometimes even just 2.5 pounds if that's all we're able to add to it, as compared to what we did last week. Really, we're just hoping to make some kind of incremental progress in these lifts here, whether that be with the rep ranges themselves or with even small, minute increases in the overall weight that we're going to be pushing. Not really sure how this is all going to pan out. The weights might be too heavy. We might have to lower them back down, but that's okay. We're going to find out. We're going to figure it out, and we may even underestimate ourselves. We might have to increase that weight even more than we're anticipating. But we've got a big workout ahead of us, so we're not going to dilly-dally. We're not going to waste a ton of time. It's a dreary morning out here. That rain's coming down, and it's like a cold rain. It's not even like the fun kind of rain. But yesterday was absolutely beautiful. We had beautiful weather all day. We were able to have a bonfire last night, and it was just that perfect temperature all evening where you can be outside with your friends, having some laughter, some drinks, some music, some food, and just honestly having a darn good day the entire day. So sometimes you gotta pay for it with this dreary weather like that, and that's why we're in the gym right now. I'd rather be in here than outside. We slept in a little bit today, feeling a little bit tired, but I'm feeling pretty darn good about this workout. I'm actually quite excited about it. I think it's gonna be a really good one. And we're gonna be trying out a couple pieces of equipment that I know you haven't seen before on this channel. When we do these heavy dumbbell lifts, it can get pretty darn tough to really adequately support ourselves and enable us to really lift it off safely and get it up in the air without overexerting ourselves. One of my worries last week was that when we were getting those weights up, those heavy weights on those decline presses, we just weren't able to get them up effectively without overtaxing ourselves. When you're lifting 120, 130 pounds overhead, it can get that way really quickly. It's a pretty big effort to get the weights over to the bench and then get them up overhead. So I've got these hooks, they're called Mad Spotters. I bought them, probably over a year ago. And I used them once, maybe twice, and I just did not like them. I really didn't. It was nice to be able to have them overhead, but I think at the time that I bought them, I was thinking of them more of a safety device for re-racking the weights. And I don't think that's the right way to actually go about thinking about them. If I utilize them though, as a device to help me get the weight up, so that it's in a good starting position, I think that's actually gonna make these lifts quite a bit easier. So I'm gonna see if I'm able to rig them up and get them into a position that's gonna enable us to use them in a safe and effective manner. I don't know that I wanna use them in the rack. I'm worried about, like what if I do have to drop the weights? Like where can they go basically? And I don't want them hitting the rack or hitting the wood and just absolutely destroying it. I'm gonna see if I can do it on the side of my rack and if I can get that barbell to fit there. If I can get the barbell to fit and I can get a little bit of weight on it so that it's a little bit more stable, I think we can do it to the side of our rack over there and still be able to utilize the farmer stall mats underneath. I really want to try to avoid dropping those weights as much as possible. I know you've seen me do it before. I do think I'm going to invest in some crash pads that you normally see for strongman type lifts where you got the the big log overhead and you can throw the weight down on top of it without worrying about it. And I want to invest in some good ones. So I think I'll probably end up going with ab mat or something similar. But if you have a recommendation for some good crash pads or something similar, it doesn't have to be crash pads. I'm just really looking for something thick and dense that would allow me to, if I need to, bail out of those types of lifts and drop that weight on the ground. We'll see what we ultimately end up with, but again, appreciate any recommendations you all may have for something like that. But let's get started. We're gonna go key up some heavy dumbbells over here, get nice and warmed up for those dumbbell movements, and see what we can make happen. I'll see you over there. All right, we got these bad boys hooked up here, these grip Mad Spotters. Not sponsored. And I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna get a real honest review of these things right now. What have we got on here? About like 85 or 90 pounds on the dumbbells. So I've put some plates on the barbell just to keep the barbell itself stabilized as the weight, and it was being loaded from side to side. I just want to just tip over. 225 loaded up on there. Let's say about 180 pounds between the two dumbbells. Already, one of the problems I'm seeing. Now, granted, this is between the uprights of my rack on the outside of it, not the inside. However, I have a 30 some odd inch depth rack. This should be basically the same depth as the inside here. However, I know it's a little bit shorter. It might be 2 to 4 inches shorter. So keep that in mind. But already I'm seeing that this dumbbell can't go any further this way without hitting the post of the rack here. I guess if I move these out, it would be fine. And if I actually used my spotter arms to get further away from here, that would also work too. So that'll be a consideration I take in next time, which is that I'm going to use my safety arms on this so the barbell can be further off of here, and we don't have to worry about the dumbbells actually hitting the posts themselves. Let's give this a shot. So one of the things I don't like is you actually have to grab the spotter itself. You have to wrap your hand around this bracing bar. It's behind it. You can't see it, but it's behind this dumbbell handle right here. It does come with grips that will hold the spotter itself onto the dumbbell, but I didn't like it the first time I used those. I didn't like the squishiness and the foam padding of it. It just really reduced my overall grip on these things. But already just having that bar, you know, it's basically at like my knuckle there on my hand. It doesn't feel great. Let's give it a go. It's not horrible from a lift-off perspective. Now, past experience has taught me I don't like trying to re-rack these things when they're in my hands, so we're not even going to attempt to do that. We're always just going to, bail them down onto our knees here, and that's kind of why I want those crash pads in the future. But as you can see, got these big old sticks hanging off of the edge of these things, and pushing these onto the ground, even placing them is not going to be necessarily easy, but we're going to give it a go. This is just warm-up, people. There's a lot of effort. So I was curious and I wanted to know, and I looked up the weight rating of these things. Apparently it's over 250 pounds, so we're well safe there. But apparently they've come up with a 2.0 version, which takes the little stabilizer bar. Again, it's behind the handle here. I'll try to throw, if I can find an image, because they've got a new version now. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but if I can find a picture of the old version, I'll put it on here. If not, maybe I'll just take a picture of these so you can see. But there's literally a bar right here behind where the handle goes, and it's, I don't know, 2 centimeters in diameter or so. It's small, quarter of an inch, half an inch, somewhere in that ballpark. It looks like they've moved it on the new ones up here, so your hand's not going to be hitting it, but it still gives that stabilizing that it needs, which is, I got to be honest, like, what the hell were they thinking putting it here in the first place? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But, I mean, I know you got to stabilize it, but come on, man. But it looks like they moved it, and they've got some soft webbing between these now, which is nice, I think. It says you won't even feel it. I don't know if I want to spend money on another attachment like that, but, if it's that big of an improvement, who knows? Matt Spotter, if you're listening, you want to sponsor me? Send me a pair. I'll give them another review. Here we got 115 on these dumbbells. We're going to, we were looking to go pretty darn heavy with these today, up to 130. With the amount of time it's taking me to set this up, I'm just going to start repping this crap out, man. So we're going to go heavy and hard on these reps. We were going to be shooting for like 8 or so or ish reps. I'm going to go for 12 here. I'm going to do 3 sets of 12 with these 115s. Just call it a day. This is just taking a lot of time to set this crap up, unfortunately. So let's get after it. It is the weekend. I got a little bit more time, but I don't want to waste my entire day just faffing about with dumbbells all morning. Ugh. All right, I got to be honest. I took, obviously, you see, I took the whole setup down. I don't know. I think this version I have, the 1.0s, I don't know that I can recommend them. I am going to give them another go with the spotter arms here. But again, we've wasted enough time this morning trying to get this set up, and I am still trying to get a workout in here. So next time, we might try it with the spotter arms so we can bring that weight out. I can make sure the barbell stays nice and forward so that those dumbbells aren't going to hit that rack at all. And that'll also give me a little bit more clearance to get under the weights too. With where they're at, the height-wise, you know, I've only got, what, like 6-inch increments on this. So I don't have all the variability in the world as I would with my 1-inch increments here, but even 2-inch increments. But that limits where I can effectively put that lift off at. And it felt weird. It felt weird. I don't know if it was just me being nervous about it. I think that was probably part of it, but it just felt like I was at a disadvantage trying to lift it off where it was. Maybe it was where I was under the dumbbells. Maybe it was just kind of like where they're at overall, the range of motion there. But I have a feeling that bringing the arms out and allowing me to get a little bit further back, though the bench is all the way up against the rack right now. I think I had enough room to scoot back a little bit more. It just felt, I don't know, something felt odd about it. Something felt odd. And then you got to factor in those handles, man. They just felt, I mean, again, I guess I haven't shown you yet, but there's literally this bar right here. And when your hand goes in there, it's wrapping around this right here on your knuckle. This is backwards, but your hand is literally wrapping around this thing at your knuckle. And, you know, it's not a small little bar. So uncomfortable. Disappointing. I would love to get more use out of these. I don't know that I'm going to get a ton of use out of this one. We'll see. Maybe at some point we'll get the version 2s, but I do think I want to give them one more try with the arms and see if that helps at all. Number 2. All right, number 3. Last one here. Good. All right, we're gonna work up to a heavy 3 here before we do our heavier lifts. Let's get not so much warmed up, but just work up to that weight. Get some feeder weights in here. Very good. All right, we got 245 here. This is what we used last week. And so we're gonna attempt it again. We're going for 4 reps this time. Then we only did 2 last week, and we ended up doing 245 twice. So we're gonna do 4 on this, and we're gonna try to increase the weight too. So going for the 4, we're gonna try to increase the weight too, but I wanna start with the 245 again. You know, doing the 12 reps on the dumbbells, that definitely got us in a good spot. Feeling a little sore though. Feeling a little, not sore, fatigued. Feeling a little fatigued already, which isn't a bad thing. But I don't want to overshoot it, go right to like 265 or even 255. Well, let's not kid ourselves. We're not going to jump straight to 265. We're going to start at 255. But I don't want to jump straight there and then just not be able to do anything. So 245, going for 4 reps. We'll take our break and evaluate whether or not we're going to increase this weight by 10 pounds or so, 5, 10 pounds, or if we're going to keep it the same and just keep going for the reps. Let's do it. Yeah. 2. Yes. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go up. 3-minute break. All right. Stopping the timer. I forgot. We're only doing 2-minute breaks on these, not 3. I had that keyed up for 3. Stopping it short. Let's do this here. Come on. 4 more reps. 10 more pounds. Come on. Not 4 more. We're doing 4 reps with 10 more pounds. Come on. Let's do it. Come on. We could have done that. Are you kidding me? Okay, we've got 240 loaded up here, and I'm a little curious how this is going to turn out. The weight, we did this last week, but I have raised the arms up a little bit. You probably can't tell at all, but I've raised it up 2 inches, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's going to give us a little bit more of that upper pec activation and shoulder activation, and take a little bit away from the overall strength we have from this. So all that is to say, I might not be able to do this very well. I don't want to just assume we're not going to be able to hit it and just lower the weight proactively. I'd rather run at it full force, and if we don't get all the reps, you know, it is what it is. We take our rest, we lower the weight down, and we get it on this next set. So let's see what happens here. Go for 6 to 8 reps. Let's do it. Open up my arms a little bit here. There we go. Dude, so good. So good. All right. 2-minute break. Coming back at it. Let's do it. Come on. All right, let's make sure we get that grip the right width there. I think I was a little bit more than thumbs width there. So we're going to try to do that again. That was, I was really close grip, and I end up doing like all the way to the edge of these handles when the arms here aren't set at an angle. And I kind of forgot to open my grip back up a little bit there. So let's do this. Yeah. Come on. Good. One more. Yeah. All right. Let's lower that weight down. Come on. Throw some weight off here. I don't know how much we're going to take off of there. Let's take all of it but the 10s off. So this will be 120. 120. Rep it out. Failure. Come on. That grip. Oh, come on. Come on. All right. That's good. Damn. Hell yeah. Kind of want to try using my henny belt for these belt squats. Never used this one before. I've had that dip belt, this guy that I got on Amazon years ago. I've always used that one. But in theory, I should be able to use this one, right? Let's see how I figure out how to do this. Actually, now I think about it, I don't think I'll be able to, to get this to squeeze tight enough. It's just going to end up falling down. That's the one thing the chain does, is the weight pulls it down so it keeps it nice and tight and taut. So it's not just going to slip off my waist. This doesn't have, I guess I could have looped this through itself. Yeah, that should work. I think it'll work. Oh, hot damn. Okay. It's hanging low. It's low, but hey, it works. Let's do it. It's a little more comfy. This thing is so padded, man. I love this belt. It's swinging around a lot, though. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do a set here. All right, 8 to 10 reps. We're gonna take these just as slow and controlled as we possibly can. Really get a good deep stretch here, and then a 2-minute break. Let's do it. Yeah, it's good. Do we need it? I don't know. 2 minutes here. We're queuing up. I don't know. I kind of don't like it hitting my ankle, my shins rather. So, hey, it works. If you only had one belt and you wanted to invest in one, I would recommend buying the henny belt because this thing's so comfy. And then you've got a belt for dips and belt squats, and you're saving some money. You need a good belt squat belt. The belt squat is not something you want an uncomfortable belt with. I know AbMat sells a belt cover that'll go over your belt. I've never used it myself. I would imagine, based on everything else AbMat makes, so that it's very thick padded. I know they use very thick, dense foam that actually provides some really good support, but also comfort as well. So you may be able to get away with buying that, but I think that cover itself is like $50. The henny belt's like $85. So could you get the ab mat cover and a cheap dip belt like this for less than 85? Probably. Probably. But for heavy, heavy, heavy belt squats, I mean, you've seen me, guys. You've seen me load up 300 pounds. I've never felt discomfort from that thing. This thing, it would dig into me. Dig into me. Did not like it. All right, 45's feeling a little easy. I'm going to throw 10 more pounds on there. So we're going to make it 55 total pounds. Get our 10 on here. Stop that timer. Get to 45. Let's do it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to this. I've used this belt literally for close to 10 years now. This just feels more comfortable, but I can tell you that the way I loop this belt, this chain through the belt, it keeps it nice and taut. I don't have to worry about this thing slipping off my waist here. It wasn't going to do that on the Henny belt, but with how low it was, I just didn't like how it was like swinging and hitting my shins. With how this hangs, it hangs perfectly below my groin, but also between my thighs, so I can kind of keep it right here, and it's not going to swing and rotate side to side. All right, 8 to 10 more. Yeah. All right, we'll take it. That was about 8. Bump that up to 230. Last one. Let's do it. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Whew. It's an often forgotten about variation of dips that you can do if you're getting really into failure mode. Is just do the slow controlled negatives. That would be a stretch to call those slow and controlled. But jumping yourself up there and just controlling that descent down, you're still getting some work in there. Good way to add some volume in there when you're starting to fail. All right, 50 pounds on these guys. We're swinging them up. So we're not trying to come up too high. Okay, there was one set. Let's do set number 2 here. Oh, God, these are heavy. Not trying to come all the way up. Just trying to control them. Not let them hit. Yeah. Man, what a workout this has been. Started off just feeling so odd and I don't know, not bad, not sick, I don't know. Just a little off. Like it was just not meant to be a great workout. Destined to be a bad one, I suppose. And it's been a good one so far. We wasted a lot of time with those dumbbells, but that's okay. We made up for it, man. Our pecs are, whew, yeah, they're toasted. They are toasted. Okay, one more set of these bad boys. And we got some face pulls to do, man. Our delts are just fried. Again, keep them moving. We're wanting to come up about halfway-ish, and we don't want to just be slamming them down into our thighs. That's the thing. When I say don't touch, you're going to end up touching your thighs most likely, but don't let them slam down into those thighs. And if you can stop them short from there, you're going to increase that time under tension, which is just going to help you even more. One more, 20 reps. Come on. Oh, that's all we got. Couldn't even move it at the end. All right, time for some face pulls. And I'm going to be supersetting these with some hanging leg raises because we wasted a lot of time with those dumbbells. And I need to do a little bit of supersetting here. I'm sorry you're not going to get a good view of the hanging leg raises here. Camera 2 has been on the fritz all day. I don't think I'm getting much footage at all. I'll know for sure later. but it appears to be cutting out mid-set almost every single time. So apologies in advance for that. The Iron Clinic will do its best to get a better camera sometime soon. Oh, I think I miscounted there. I don't know. It was at least 15. Number 2. All right, third and final. Whew. Gonna wrap up with my triceps off screen. So have a little bit of time here. Bid you farewell. Thanks for being here. Maximize your day, people. Get out there. Kick its ass. I believe in you. I'll see you next time.